All right, in this week's Whiteboard Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about decreasing stress. And in the last episode, which was a few weeks ago, I was on the road for a couple weeks, but I talked about stress and resilience and how to increase resilience by decreasing the total amount of stressors on the body. By taking those stressors away from your life, you essentially afford your body more resources to deal with any unexpected stressors. I gave the cup analogy where stressors add up over time and can cause issues, can cause physical symptoms or mental symptoms. And you can remove those stressors from your life. And the more you do that, the more room you have essentially for unexpected stressors. And the more resources your body will have to deal with those, so you don't experience any any physical symptoms that are too bad from those unexpected stressors. And so these different things are going to decrease stress in a number of different ways. Some of them are going to decrease mental stress. Some of them are going to help restore balance to the autonomic nervous system and help get people out of that sympathetic fight or flight response and into a more parasympathetic rest and digest mode. Some of them are going to increase immune function, through increased lymphatic clearance and things like that. But most of them are going to do all of those things. And these are things that are pretty simple to add into any sort of routine, and into a daily or weekly routine. And so the first thing I have listed here is meditation, and that's something that's often overlooked by people. But that's huge. I mean, we're talking 10 or 15 minutes of your day, and there's so many different apps and stuff out there now, phone apps, that will actually guide you through a meditation process and that are based upon where you are at that particular moment, how experienced you are. So it's not going to throw you into the deep end and you just can't focus for that long. So it's definitely scalable. Meditation, and again, that's going to really help with decreasing mental stress. It gives you time to reflect and reset. But also, breathing is always a big part of any sort of meditation. And breathing helps, deep breathing, deep, relaxed breathing helps restore balance to the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system and breathing and breath rate are intimately linked. So that's going to help that stuff a lot. Light massage, I specify light massage because heavy massage, sports massage, or the masseuse is really getting in there with elbows and stuff like that, that can actually open people up for injury if they're training intensely on a regular basis. So you definitely don't want to get a really deep massage the day before a heavy training session, because that's going to open you up for injury. So that stuff should be reserved essentially for like after competition or something like that, or after a testing period where you're going to be taking some time off afterward, or you're going to be going light afterward. But light massage is going to help increase blood flow. It's going to increase lymphatic clearance. That's something that's very helpful and very relaxing. Water immersion, so that can be something like a float tank, which is mentally great for people. It really helps people with PTSD. But it can also be something like a hot tub, right? So again, we're talking about full body hyperthermia, and we're also with that getting into sweating, which is going to increase lymphatic clearance. We're talking about increasing blood flow. And full body hyperthermia also has some benefits for mental health as well, for helping to treat depression and anxiety. Sauna is essentially a similar thing. We're talking about full body hyperthermia, we're talking about sweating, we're talking about increasing lymphatic clearance and blood flow. I do want to say though, if we're talking about hot tubs or saunas or things where you're going to be sweating a lot, you have to stay hydrated. That is so, so important. You absolutely have to stay hydrated. And make sure that you're getting some electrolytes in there as well. Because otherwise that's going to defeat the whole purpose of of decreasing stress, and dehydration is actually going to increase stress. So you have to make sure you stay hydrated there. And the last thing I have listed here is MAP 10. So low intensity aerobic work is going to get the muscles moving. It's going to essentially do some of the things that I've already talked about. It's going to increase blood flow. It's going to make you sweat a little bit, and it's going to increase lymphatic clearance. It's going to improve immune function. And also it's very helpful for people mentally, especially sometimes to get outside and move around. That can put people in a better place mentally. And so those are just a few options, and these are things that are very easy to add into any routine on a daily or weekly basis. You know, some of these things you could easily do every day, MAP 10 stuff, meditation every day, light massage, weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, something like that. These things are easy to add in and make a huge difference in terms of decreasing stress and increasing recovery, increasing resilience. And that's going to be it for today's episode. We'll see you next week.